Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to share our message with you. On behalf of the Lemkin Institute for Genocide Prevention's team, I want to congratulate you and wish you success in this conference. I also want to express our solidarity with the Isaac genocide victims, as well as with all the victims of genocides in the world. The Lemkin Institute for Genocide Prevention is a non-governmental organization working globally for the prevention of genocide. An important part of that prevention lies in the recognition of genocides, the acknowledgement of victims and their sufferings, and in accountability and justice. As the Lemkin Institute indicated in a statement on early August 2022, during the 1980s, the Isaac people, members of a thriving and independent clan in Somalia, fell prey to a broad array of abuses, including genocide by the Somali government, mainly in the region now called Somaliland, which declared independence from Somalia in 1981, in part to protect the Isaac clan members from further atrocities. A United Nations investigation concluded in 2001 that the killing of Isaac individuals was a crime, open quote, conceived, planned, and perpetrated by the Somali government, end quote, and therefore a breach of the Genocide Convention. The persecution resulted in the deaths of 50,000 to 250,000 members of the Isaac clan between 1987 and 1989. Although the crimes committed against the Isaac people in the region of Somaliland by Mohammed Siad Barre's regime have been recognized as genocide, this atrocity has fallen into the long list of forgotten genocides. As a consequence, there has been no accountability and therefore no justice, acknowledgement of the victims and their sufferings. Justice is essential, both in its philosophical concept and as an element of an organized rule of law obeying state. And it is especially fundamental when dealing with genocide and other atrocity crimes, because it is not only claimed by victims, but also by the society affected by the abhorrent characteristics of such crimes. Justice, in the form of judicial accountability, represents the beginning of the healing process. It gives victims a formal voice and empowers them to speak. It helps reconstruct the historical truth. It is an important form of reparation and triggers many other forms of reparation. And it is an essential part or element of a mechanism for prevention. Moreover, justice also identifies and punishes perpetrators, helping to destroy frameworks of genocidal power. Perpetrators which, in the case of the Isaac genocide, still enjoy impunity and protection in Somalia. Without justice, we live in a permanent state of denial. Unfortunately, of this scenario, we have many examples, including the genocide against the Isaac people. On this International Day of Commemoration and Dignity of the Victims of the Crime of Genocide and of the Prevention of this crime, let us remember the relevance of the Genocide Convention and the need to fulfill its purposes. The Genocide Convention is the only international instrument which for 50 years gave the international community a legal definition of genocide in a binding document, until the drafting of the Rome Statute for the International Criminal Court. As such, the Convention has had and continues to have great impact in international and national justice processes, also shaping the statutes of international ad hoc tribunals. Yet the Convention does not sit alone in the international legal system. It is accompanied by a complete and exhaustive international human rights legal order, setting the standards for the unrestricted respect of human rights. Amongst those instruments is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, whose anniversary is celebrated tomorrow on 10 December, International Human Rights Day. And amongst those basic rights are the right to access to justice, to reparations, and to truth. Fulfilling those rights, it's not an option, but an obligation of all states. It is them who owe individuals and communities the proper exercise of accountability and justice. Therefore, the Lemkin Institute once again reiterates its call for a well-funded and focused independent effort to bring justice to the region, one that recognizes past genocides and ongoing genocidal threats, brings perpetrators to justice, and protects the right of all human groups to live in dignity. We need justice, truth, and memory. And maybe because we do not fulfill any of the three, we continue to fail in prevention. The crime of genocide has a strong political component. Thus, in an unequal world, perhaps we continue to have the justice of the winners, denying certain crimes, masquerading them as different ones, and therefore not properly building prevention mechanisms. Effective justice, recognition of the crime, not denial, victims' acknowledgement and reparation, memorialization, guarantees of non-repetition, human rights education, and implementation of mechanisms for prevention need our strongest efforts. At the Lemkin Institute, we hope to contribute towards that path, to building justice, memory, and truth for the construction of peaceful societies. Once again, the Lemkin Institute hopes this message reaches every single one of you in solidarity and support. Congratulations and best of success in this important conference for the International Day of Commemoration and Dignity of the Victims of the Crime of Genocide and of the Prevention of this crime. We hope one day we all reunite in person. Our best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much.